Most people think power comes from speaking louder, arguing harder, or always having the perfect response. We live in a world that rewards constant opinions, endless debates, and instant reactions. Social media encourages us to respond within seconds. Conversations become competitions instead of opportunities to understand. But nearly 2,000 years ago, the Stoics discovered something surprising. The person who controls their tongue often possesses greater strength than the person who wins the argument. For them, silence wasn't empty, it was intentional. The first reason silence is powerful is that it gives you control over your emotions. Epictetus taught that while we cannot always control what happens to us, we can control how we respond. Imagine someone criticizes you unfairly. The easiest reaction is immediate anger. But the moment you pause, breathe, and choose silence instead of impulse, you've already won the first battle, the battle within yourself. That brief moment of restraint separates wisdom from emotion. Modern psychology also recognizes that creating space between a trigger and your response often leads to better emotional regulation. The second lesson comes from Marcus Aurelius, who constantly reminded himself that other people's opinions belong to them, not to us. Many arguments continue only because both sides desperately want the last word. Yet silence quietly refuses to play that game. It says, "Your opinion does not control my peace." Imagine a mountain standing through a violent storm. The wind howls, the rain falls, but the mountain never argues with the weather. Its strength comes from remaining exactly where it is. The Stoics believed our minds should become just as steady. Silence also allows us to become better observers. Seneca believed wise people spend more time listening than speaking because every conversation offers something to learn. When you're constantly preparing your next reply, you're no longer truly listening. But when you remain silent with intention, you notice emotions, motives, and details that others miss. Sometimes the most valuable information appears only after the other person believes you've finished talking. Another reason silence is so powerful is that it protects your energy. Every unnecessary argument demands attention, emotion, and time that can never be recovered. Marcus Aurelius led an empire filled with political conflict, criticism, and betrayal. Yet he couldn't afford to react to every insult or disagreement. He understood that attention is one of life's most valuable resources. Every moment spent defending your ego is a moment stolen from building your character. Of course, Stoic silence does not mean remaining quiet in the face of injustice or avoiding difficult conversations. The Stoics valued courage just as much as wisdom. There are moments when speaking honestly is the right thing to do. The difference is that Stoic speech is deliberate rather than emotional. Silence becomes powerful because it gives you the freedom to choose your words instead of allowing anger, pride, or fear to choose them for you. Think of a still lake on a calm morning. When the water is undisturbed, it reflects the mountains with perfect clarity. But the moment the surface becomes restless, the reflection disappears. Our minds work the same way. Constant reactions create emotional waves that make clear thinking impossible. Silence allows the mind to become still enough to see reality as it truly is. The next time someone tries to provoke you, pause before speaking. When criticism arrives, resist the urge to defend yourself immediately. Listen more than you speak. Choose your words carefully. Not every opinion deserves your attention, and not every argument deserves your participation. Often, the strongest response is the one that protects your peace instead of your pride. The Stoics didn't practice silence because they feared speaking. They practiced it because they understood that true power begins with self-mastery. A person who cannot control their words will eventually struggle to control their actions. But a person who has learned the discipline of silence carries a quiet confidence that no argument can take away. If this video helped you see silence in a new way, subscribe to Stoic Compass. Together, we'll continue discovering timeless wisdom that helps us navigate modern life with greater clarity, resilience, and inner peace.